You said your mom is charging you as the tenant. If you were in Britain, would it be the same, or is like typically Singaporean thing?
I think if we were in the UK, I would have been kicked out when I was 18. Both my parents were kicked out when they were like young. It's kind of a cultural thing there where you must get your driver's license when you're 16 and you must move out when you're 18. And if you're not able to drive and you still live with your parents, like what has happened in your life, like it's like some people it's like a red flag, like deal breaker. Like I don't want to date this person or marry this person because of these scenarios. It's quite different here. My mom only charges me because, I mean, I'm sure it helps her pay her rent, but also I wouldn't feel comfortable being the age I am and working a full-time job and not paying or contributing in any way. So I'm happy to.
Some people say like Singaporean kids, they are too not very mature, and because you can live like cheaply in Singapore. The food, transportations, everything is like super cheap. If you have the place where to live, so you're pretty much okay, like for 1K, 2K, you can survive. Maybe 2.5K, you can survive. Is it like for you, it's okay or not okay?
It becomes interesting when I start dating because my preferences do lean towards more of the independent person. So I would rather they live by themselves or with housemates rather than their parents. But I do also understand that it is the culture here. It's just way more normal for them to live with their parents until they're 35, then get their BTO, and then move out. It is what it is. And yes, you do see differences with people who do live with their parents, but that's okay.
I think it's also not only cultural matter, but also practical matter. Because Singapore is small. Let's say if you're in the UK and you're from Brighton or like, I don't know, from Manchester, and then you want to go, then you like graduate from high school and then you go to the uni. And uni is probably, good unis are in London. So you move to a different city. And if it's a country bigger than Singapore, you probably, 90% of the cases, you move out from the parents to be closer to your school or to your job. In Singapore, it's not the case. Transport, you can take a bus, like the maximum would be like 1 hour in a bus or something. So you kind of, what's the point, like to be 20 minutes closer to, let's say, to the uni and then move out and pay for a place?
Yeah, you know I know that, I think NUS does like dorms here.
Yeah, they do.
And that's like one of the only schools that does it. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, what is the point of that given it's so convenient to just travel anywhere? But it's the idea of these people want to just be independent, I reckon, for a little while from their family. So that's why they choose to do that. Yeah, the limitations of the space do immediately stop people exploring other options.
How's the dating scene in Singapore?
I am not a very active dater. I will say it's very depressing.
Is it?
That's just my point of view, though. I talk about it all the time on my TikTok. It's kind of like a fun. I don't know if it's very fun, but like it's a running joke that Singaporean men are like a different species. But again, I don't put myself out there very much, so it could be my taste is very bad.
But can you specify?
Sure. And then I'll get canceled by all these people. So it's funny, I did an interview similar to this one with like a company that wanted to spotlight people who have lived here a very long time. And I had mentioned in that interview when they asked me about dating, I was like, oh, I will never date someone from ACS and I will never date someone from St. Pat's because to me, the people and the culture in those schools just turn out really cocky guys. And my Instagram DMs were flooded with people from these schools like being like, what's your problem? Take that back. We want a public apology. And I was sitting there scrolling through and I'm like, you are literally proving my points. So that's one. But like I said earlier, like my preferences lie more within someone who's independent, and that's quite difficult here to find. And sure, there are expats here. I think expats my age don't want to settle here. So for them, they're only here for the short term. And I know I'm going to be here for a lot longer than, like 2 or 3 years. So that's also kind of out of the picture for me as well. But if anyone's single, hit me up. Hey.
How's your social circle look like?
My very close friends are all people that have lived here because I went through school with them. And then I guess, you know, now that we're older and we go out and like socialize, I then like started to have a few more expat friends than I used to, which was quite eye-opening. I was dating an expat for about a year and I met all of his friends, and like the lifestyle they live in comparison to like me and my friends who are the same age. The only difference is they're all here for 2 years for work and we've all been here for 10 years. The way like we go about daily life and our weekends is so different. It was wild. You know, there's the stereotype of like, oh, expats go to Tanjong Beach Club every weekend and they go to all the rooftop bars and all these parties. But there's a stereotype because it's literally true. Like I couldn't, like I was broke I was hanging out. I didn't want to like miss out, you know? I was like, yeah, I'll come out, I'll do that. And I look at my bank account and I'm like, what the fuck? All my money is gone just on alcohol and like socializing. So expensive. But they're here on like expat packages and they're like slaying it. So like, absolutely, that's the lifestyle they're gonna lead. I'm not. So I'm like, I'm paying like so much money to my CPF. I'm like counting my pennies as I buy a $25 drink from the bar. I'm like, oh God. Yeah.
Do you think it's because of that also? Sometimes locals don't get along well with foreigners. It's like, oh, these freaking foreigners, they just come here for 2 years, like they just spend their money and then just leave. They don't care about the place and stuff.
I definitely see that. It's also, there's just completely different spots in which people go to. I've realized that locals aren't as open to making new friends. And this is just something I've observed from like my own friend group as well. Like if we go out as a group and we meet another group, we're not as likely to like want to make friends. Whereas like expat groups that go out will just immediately make 50 new friends that night. And the next weekend they're all out together at a boat party or something. So yeah, I think there is like I want to like stay in my space, don't come near me kind of vibe locally. I'm also like that though.